Oh yeah, Paul the Pipe Guy here. Yep, it's the Paul Gilson YouTube channel, and I am Paul Gilson, aka Paul the Pipe Guy. Yeah, I was just about ready to turn in for bed. I'm an early riser, so I got to go to bed early. I was looking for a nice pipe to smoke, and this Stanwell pipe of 1990. Yeah, 1997 Pipe of the Year is what I picked out. And I actually bought this as an estate pipe. It's hardly ever been smoked, and briar was kind of dried out. And so, as you can see, polished her back up to her former beauty. And I was like, what am I going to smoke? And I don't know, all of a sudden I just picked off the shelf some Northwest Track from, oh geez, this is coming up on being 4 years old, 6 of 2020. I've got, I got to find this tin. I'll be right back. Yeah, so I found it. This is pipe tobacco called Davidoff Royalty. I looked it up. It's a Latakia Rich blend. It's made in Denmark. And I looked on the back because I always mark my stuff on there, And I purchased this back on 12 of 2021. And then the sunlight was coming in just right, and I was looking, did I ever open this tin? Because if you open a tin, usually I take a quarter, and boom, pop it open that way, because you can't just unscrew the top. I'm looking around, and I'm like, wait a second, what's that? I see this date on the side. And it says 10/3/2016. So this stuff, that's the 10 date. This Davidoff is almost 8 years old. And I've had it for all this time. I've never opened it up, never smoked it. But, we're going to have to do a tobacco review on this Davidoff. So let's start something on fire, but, let's clear the palate first. We got some bush beer here. Yeah, cheers. Oh yeah. This, I'll tell you, is a stunningly gorgeous pipe. If you saw this in the sunlight, just the briar on this is just beautiful. Yeah, let's start it on fire. So, at work, when I come home, I'll talk to my girlfriend, Deborah. She's a traveling surgical nurse. So, a lot of times she has to work from early in the morning till late at night, so she can't talk on the phone, but sometimes she can text. And, kind of texting a little bit today, and she's a woman of God, and I'm a man of God. You guys might not always think so, but I am. And she comes out of the blue and she says, "You are my king." And I was like, "Really?" She's like, "Yep, it says in the Bible, the man is king." And I said, "Well," I said, "you are my queen." And I said, "A king is nothing without his queen." And that's the truth. She's not like a subject that I rule over as a king. We're partners. So, I've shared my life with her and so forth, and she shared hers with me. And as you go along, I mean, you don't tell you don't tell someone that you've met a month or two ago, everything about yourself right out of the bat. I mean, we all have situations in our lives. And you just don't want to let that cat out of the bag all at once and tell them all the not so great stuff. So you go along, you become friends and so forth, and move forward together. And like I said, everybody's got situations in their lives, and there's reasons for them. So I shared with her a couple of situations that I have in my life. That I'm trying to overcome. I mean, it's not anything that I'm not out chasing women or any of that stuff or any, just things that, you get it, right? And I told her the reason this is why the way things are the way that they are. And I'm not going to tell you guys what I told her. And then I said, look, now you know everything, about me up front. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And so she was like, well, she says, your problems are now my problems. And we're going to pray about these and overcome them. God's going to overcome them. That's a mighty fine woman. That you most likely won't find nowadays. And she's only 49. So, yeah. And I told her, I says, look, I'm not going to say anything more. It's nobody's business. It's not even really a big deal. It's just, finances and things like that and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. It's no big deal. It's just is what it is. Ah, well. Now, surgical traveling nurse, they do pretty well for themselves. Paul the Pipe Guy certainly isn't looking, for anything from her, nor would I accept it. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, man, this pipe is good. Yeah. She ain't even broken in, man. She's starting to heat up, so we're going to take a little break. We'll be back in a nanosecond. Oh, yeah, we're going to make this a short smoke together. I'm just going to light up a cigarette. You guys can all smoke your pipes and cigars. But I'll tell you what. When a woman says, it says in the Bible that the man is king, I was like, I really didn't want to hear that because I don't look at myself as that way. And in a relationship, I certainly am not the ruler. I'm not, but a king without a queen is nothing. So if she wants to call me her king, that's okay. You know. And I told her, and I said, okay, well, at certain times, I'm sure there's going to be times where I'm just going to look at you and be like, yes, dear, you're right. I'm wrong. Yeah. I don't want to be a king. I don't want to. I remember, I was born in 1964, and back then, a woman's wedding vows were predisposed to her. I don't know if I'm using the right terminology, but she had to look at her husband and said, I promise to love, honor, and obey. Okay. Yeah, right. That's not right. No. That's like old school Christianity. That's a woman should love and honor her husband, but she should never have to obey him like a dog. They should work it out together. I told my girl, I said, look, we're partners. We'll figure this life out together. Well, we've got it figured. Well, no, you really never have life all the way figured out. But you know what? I'm just at the point, and I was sharing with her today, I was like, look, I've raised all my kids. I raised 3 stepsons that came along with a marriage. And that was not easy. I won't get into everything why it wasn't easy, but it was not easy basically because, they were shunned by their dad, and even though he saw them, the mother held her 3 boys up on a pedestal. They could do no wrong. And I was just trying to be a good dad. So if I want to discipline them or ground them or do this or do that, none of that shit was going to fly. They'd run to mommy, and whatever I said went out the window. So I had to lead by example, because there was no other way. So so it'd be like, you boys want to do some chores today? Because I'm going to be doing chores. Nah, I'm going to play video games. Okay. Well, I'm going to have fun mowing the lawn. I want to mow the lawn. All right, well, get on that damn tractor, go mow the lawn. And all right, I'm going to clean the garage out, and whoever cleans the garage out with me, we're going to do a home improvement project together. Yeah, that'd be cool. I want to do that. The other one. And so on and so on. It was very difficult. And I didn't spank any of them or anything like that. One of them, I won't tell you which one, whether it was the oldest, youngest, or middle one. But he was so bad. And I used to tell him, hey man, if you don't knock it off, I'm going to and this was when he was like 4 or 5. I'd be like, hey man, if you don't knock it off, I'm going to hold you down and kiss you all over your face. And so he was pretty bad. And so I would, man, when he was 4 or 5 years old, man, I'd be like, all right, here's your punishment, man. I'd hold him down. I'd kiss him on his forehead, on his cheeks. I love their mom, so, when I'll tell you what, a real man is when and you ladies, if there's any watching, a real man, when he loves a woman and he marries that woman, he marries her kids too. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. That's just the way it is. And if you can't accept that, you have no right marrying that woman. Well, I married them. Yeah, all of them. In fact, we even had a special ceremony. My oldest son of three kids from my prior marriage, and her oldest son from the three sons from her prior marriage. They went up and we each lit the oldest one. She lit her oldest boy's candle. I lit my oldest boy's candle. And they went together and they lit a candle which represented our family and brought us together. And I planned that ceremony out. I was bawling my eyes out. I really was. I was crying. Yeah. Raising those little motherfuckers wasn't easy. And each one of my stepsons, at one point or a time or other, and this all happened within like a year, they called me on the phone separately. They didn't have a meeting or anything like that. There was no big skyscraper, they met on the 80th floor and talked about me and, what do you think? Was he a good dad? None of that shit happened, okay? They just thought about that each on themselves, and they each called me, and they had very similar things to say, that they first apologized how they tortured me. They knew what they did, manipulating mama, playing one side against the other. And but they apologized for that, being little motherfuckers. All right, I wanted to kill them, but I loved them, so I couldn't do that. And they each said that the Common Core. I gotta pause the video for a second. All right, we're back. I was getting a little choked up there. Because I worked hard. I got no thanks. Trust me. But when they all called me up, the Common Core thing is that what every one of them said, really, which was common, that's Common Core, they said that they would not be the man that they are today if it wasn't for me. And I said, I asked them individually, as they called, they said, how's that? Most of it was work ethic, being a good father, showing lots of love. That's basically about it, And I cried, of course, with every one of those phone calls, And I apologized to him for some of the mistakes that I made, because I wasn't perfect, And at this point in time, their mother and I had, been separated and so forth. So I had to ask for forgiveness for some things, and they did too. And yeah, those were good phone calls. It's great when you think that you're never going to get thanks for anything that you work your ass off for, you get beat to death for. It seems like there's never going to be a reward, but you made a commitment to their mom, and you made a commitment to those children, and so you just, and regardless of the, maybe some of the mistakes that you as a parent have made, you've done the best that you can. No, there's no perfect parent, and at the end of the day, to get that phone call saying, "Hey, I just want to thank you," is so that's pretty rewarding, you know. It really is. Yeah. So they're all grown up now. My youngest is my biological son, Paulie Jr. Yeah, he's 20 years old now, and seems to be on a good track. Yeah. Cheers to that, because some of them weren't on a good track, and no matter what you can, I mean, sometimes when you have a child that is, they don't stay on track, you can do anything that you, within your power, that you feel that you can do, and just, when they're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, they're grown pretty much, they're grown, and there's not much you can do other than pray for them and be there, don't enable them, but you guys get it. Cheers, by the way. My second Bush beer on this video. Oh yeah, so I was I think I might have mentioned this before. I've talked a little bit about this. Yeah, we've talked about this before. We're not going to touch on it again. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Let's enjoy a pipe, cigars, and a pint or two together. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Kelly, the killer calico cat, is right there. She's like resting, sombering. She's like almost drooling. She's in such a deep sleep. Kelly. Yeah, she's in pretty deep sleep. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm the Paul, the pipe guy here, yeah. So that's our little ramble. We won't call this a smoke together, so a little ramble on together, Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Over and out.